And yeah, really. So I've been working on what I should put in this new program. And something that really comes up often is, I mean, all my stuff is fitness, training. This is what I love. But for us mummies, the thing that I got from the last challenge and the biggest takeaway, and I had to remember what it was like, was confidence, really. The confidence to get in the gym, confidence to fit what I want to achieve into my schedule, because obviously, I've got a really, really busy schedule. I mean, if you're a mummy, then you have so many things that you have to do, you have to fit in. Um, and so what I've decided to do is part of the new course that I'm doing is we're putting elements of confidence building in there. We're doing a lot of goal setting, confidence building. And obviously, I have ways to adapt training into your life where, the food, the do's and don'ts, and all of that kind of superficial stuff. But really, the biggest thing that ever helped me when I was doing all my training, and I had to be really, really strict and really, really think about everything I was doing. The main thing was my mindset, and having that mindset, building that mindset, and not trying to doubt myself, but still being real and all these kind of things. So we've sort of weaved into part of the courses that we're doing, and it's a big part for me, really. So we've weaved in about how to build your confidence back up. But I thought I'd come on because I just bought myself a new book to read, and I was really excited about that. I don't know if you can see it this way or not. It's called Daring Greatly, Brené Brown. You've probably seen it on Netflix. She's amazing. She's really good storyteller and a really good communicator, which is great. And her book is about it says how the courage to be vulnerable transforms the way we live, love, parent, and lead. And that got me thinking. I haven't read it yet, but I am a real believer in personal development. I've done a lot of personal development work over the last couple of years, mainly because I really, really lost all my confidence. Some things happened, and I lost all my confidence, and I really, really doubted myself. So I kind of had to go right back to the beginning of who I was, who I am, who I want to be. I mean, obviously, because I'm just not on this planet on my own. I'm on this planet with lots and lots and lots of other people, and and I've got children, and they're really super important to me. And so I want to be the best person I can be. And yeah, so I do read a lot of personal development stuff. I do a lot of uh, courses, workshop. The best investment you could ever do is to invest in yourself. That's just a no-brainer. That's it. If you haven't done any personal development stuff, investing back into not just work. I mean, I love marketing and all of that, and that's my go-to. Love reading about that. Russell Brunson, all of the things he does. Tony Robbins. I love the business side of it, but personal development. I think a big turning point for me was when I did actually go to UPL. UPL, I don't know if you know what that is. That's a Tony Robbins event. And it was in London, and it's like a 4 or 5 day event where you walk on fire. So I'm a fire walker officially, and you go through. I do get my energy from people, so I went on my own, but there was thousands of people there, and you're bearing your soul to people that you've never met, never spoken to. You just randomly sat next to them, and you are, and they really puts you under pressure, but it also it puts you under pressure, but also it really makes you dig deep inside of you. And it's super interesting to learn all these things about yourself. For me, like the Tony Robbins event, the UPL event that I went to was just the start point. Literally it was just the start. It took me a good 6 months to build up the confidence to do something like that. When my world got crushed at the end of 2017, and it took me 6 months to kind of rebuild my strength back up to wanting to find out who I was, be a better person, really. I thought, the thoughts that were going on in my head weren't me. And also the thoughts that were going on in my head was so doubting myself. I didn't realize how much negativity was going on in my head. And so I did 6 months of work, really, really deep work personally on my personal way I approach myself, a personal way what I put out in the world. I just started doing this, and I have done it before, and it's a super thing, and I think all of you lot should do it. And let me know if you've ever done it. 30 days, no negativity. And it's a funny thing to do, because you don't think, if someone said to me, 30 days, no negativity, I'd say, yeah, standard, super easy. I'm always positive. I'm always motivational, all those kind of things. But it's actually so hard. It's not that you think, but saying no negativity out loud is really, really interesting, because like the other day, my friend phoned me up and she was moaning about something the doctor had said. And normally, you don't really think that you're being negative or anything like that. But the doctor had said something that she didn't like, and she didn't agree with. And, normally I would say, oh, yeah, doctors are rubbish. You can never get an appointment. And, and I would just say that, and I wouldn't think that that's a negative thing. And then I realized, shit, that is putting negativity out there it's putting negative out there in the world. I don't want to be doing that. So I had to kind of navigate this conversation where I wasn't saying, yes, doctors are shit or anything like that, trying to put a positive spin on it. But yeah, it was actually super tricky, super difficult. It was. And I didn't expect it to be, because I, always consider myself a super, super positive person. And so, not doing it, but I challenge you all to do it, because it's kind of, I've done it before, and it's kind of like, if you can keep continuing to do this. So when something negative comes at you, or something pops into your brain that's negative, stop yourself from saying it. I can't say you can't stop yourself from thinking it, but you can stop yourself from putting those bad vibrations out in this world. So don't do it, and don't do it because someone's doing it back to you, because I understand that, like, social norms is someone saying something and you kind of agree with them, whether it's a positive vibration or a bad thing. You kind of agree with what they're saying, not necessarily whether you do or you don't agree with what they're saying. It's just, you're nurturing a conversation or a relationship. But yes, do that so that you can't say anything negative, and you don't. So yeah, do that. Please let me know how you get on. And also, I remember doing it before, and this is something I'm going to keep doing, keep challenging myself to do this, and continuously, because I don't want to be, like, your kids are around you all the time, and I don't want them to be hearing me spout negative things out in the world. Like that's the reason why I don't watch the news on TV. I know that people think, oh, well, you have to know what's going on in the world. I'm happy. I know there's bad stuff going on in the world. It's not that I don't feel aligned to save everybody. In fact, that's one of my things that I always try to do, save people. But the stress that it causes my thought pattern. But not only that, my children's thought pattern. Like the odd time the news has come on after something, and you sit, and then they'll ask me something about this, and they're literally traumatized. I remember the first time that I don't want to be political, obviously, but the first time that my child came out of school and he mentioned Brexit, and they'd obviously talked about it at school, and he was devastated. This was a couple of years ago. He was absolutely devastated, and I had to really go the other way and say to him, look, babe, this will, like, tomorrow you will wake up. He was on the verge of tears. Tomorrow you will wake up and your world will not change. I mean, obviously it's been 2 years past now, and his world hasn't changed for him. And I had to try and explain from a sort of business point of view. That's where it might change his structure of what's going to happen in the next few years, but it really wouldn't have a big bad impact to him personally, as he'd thought that he'd been told that it should. And I'm not taking away from people that want to be political and all those kind of things, but for my own child's inner well-being, excuse me, I didn't want the pressure that was he obviously felt. So, and as a parent, you want to take their pain away, obviously. So I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I watched her Netflix program, Brené Brown. I watched her Netflix program about vulnerability and how vulnerability can, impact your lives. And, and also she talked a lot about, someone else's behavior and how someone else's behavior and the stories you tell yourself about their behavior, when actually a lot of times their behavior towards you isn't about something you've said or done. It's about something else that's going on, and also about interpreting, what they did. And she related it to a few arguments that she'd had with her husband, and how if something happens and her husband doesn't give her what she thought that would be the answer that he would give, what she does is the story I'm telling myself now in a conversation. So it's really interesting, and I thought that was a really good thing that I would start implementing in my life if I need to. Is, you've said this, and now I can't. I'm telling you how I feel about what you've just said to me. It might be that you've taken it completely the wrong way, which is normally what happens. And that's why we go away with all these takeaways of what someone said or someone did to us, when actually it's something that's gone on in their mind, or they didn't interpret the situation the same way you did. So it's super interesting to kind of get a handle on the way you react to people, and also your inner voice, what you tell yourself, and also what you put out into the world. So there's my things, really. It's what you put out into the world, what you tell yourself, and also being brave enough to be vulnerable, brave enough to tell your stories. I often go on here and tell stories about something that's probably maybe I shouldn't. But being vulnerable, there's a lot of things that people feel, and it actually is really therapeutic being vulnerable. I do struggle with it a lot, because I'm definitely someone who always puts on a brave face, and so being vulnerable, it is tricky. But I'm going to read this lady's book, and I'm going to learn about developing myself, and because I want to be a better person. So anyway, if you would like any of my coaching programs, I'd be really excited. It's all aimed around busy mummies that have a massively busy schedule, that want to get back into shape, want to build their confidence back in. I can get, I break all my programs down into really small, tiny pieces so that they can be easily implemented in your life. If you want to find me on Facebook, it is Strong Women Fitness, and you'll find me over there. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's at Strong Women Fitness _ I would love to see you there, and I would love to see you come and join me on my fitness pages, and come and be part of my programs. That would be incredibly amazing and wonderful. And I'm launching a brand new program very soon. I believe it goes live next week. So I'd love to have you on board. If you're if you're a mummy or if you're female, want to get back into shape, don't know where to start, I'm your girl. I really am. I will help you. So that's all for today because I've rabbited on long enough, as always. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you. And put a comment below if you want me to keep doing this. It'd be great to see you. Anyway, take care. Bye bye.